I am supreme, and please forgive my voice. My voice is trying to go. Something don't want me to get this message out and do this reading, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, today's Astro Oracle investigation will be on Heaven Desiree McGhee. Heaven Desiree McGhee is a 21-year-old Oakland, California woman missing since January 17, 2025, with authorities investigating potential links to human trafficking. She was last seen in Oakland. She was reportedly spotted in Stockton, California on January 20th, 2025, but that hasn't been confirmed. As of April 2026, today is April 11th, 2026. As of April 2026, she is still missing, and the FBI is exploring connections to the disappearance of Tatiana Duggar and Morgan Crenshaw. So, I guess they're saying whoever's responsible for Tatiana Duggar and Morgan Crenshaw is also linked to the disappearance of Heaven McGhee. So that's all that was said on this case. Very little information on Heaven McGhee, which is all right because I have her date of birth and the day she disappeared, and that's all I need. I am supreme. I am a high-ranking Astro Oracle psychic. I am about to conduct a high-ranking Astro Oracle psychic investigation on what happened to Heaven Desiree McGhee. First, I'm going to pull from her charts. All of my decks that I'm going to use for this case have been pre-shuffled. First one I'm going to pull from is the when and where. But first, because this is going to be Heaven's voice. Before I pull from Heaven's voice, let me pull her charts right quick to show you what I saw. The day she was born, March 4th, 2004, the sun was in Pisces and the moon was in Leo. And when you put a Leo moon in Pisces house, which is the 12th house, Virgo comes first. Virgo is work. Virgo is employment. Virgo is health. Virgo is daily routine, what you do daily. Virgo is maintenance. This is Heaven's birth chart. Okay? Now, let's pull Heaven's disappearance chart, and I'm going to show you what I saw when I connected the dots of both charts. The day Heaven disappeared, January 17th, 2025, although somebody claimed to see her January 20th, that hasn't been confirmed. That sighting hasn't been confirmed. And there's really no evidence of that sighting. That's just word of mouth. We're going to go by her mother's last interaction visually. Heaven went to see her mother before she disappeared. And that was January 17th, 2025. On that day, the sun was in Capricorn and the moon was in Virgo. And when you put a Virgo moon in Capricorn's house, which is the 10th house, Sagittarius comes first. Sagittarius is the energy of the foreigner. Sagittarius is the energy of foreign travels. Sagittarius is also the energy of exploration, journeys, long distance travels. It is also the energy of churches, higher knowledge, wisdom, understanding, colleges, universities, and it rules the 9th house. Now, in the 9th house, this is why this is a 9th house chart, because Sagittarius comes first. But if you look in the 9th room, which is always the master bedroom of the 9th house, just like in the 6th house, the 6th room is the master bedroom. We're going to get there, Aquarius. Because the Aquarius showed up in the 3rd house. So we know that Heaven was working with somebody. This was a lot about work, Virgo energy. And that's where the moon was that day. And the sun was in Capricorn. Look where Virgo is the day she disappeared, in the 10th house. She was getting that money. She was working with somebody to succeed. The 10th house is success, law enforcement, authority, the boss. The 10th house is public status. We all reach for a public status. This is Capricorn's house. Look where Capricorn is, though. It's in the 2nd house of money. This is how I know Heaven McGhee had ambitions. She was ambitious, and she wanted to succeed. And she used whatever was at her disposal. including probably her body, but not limited to her body. Let's find out where Capricorn and Virgo was in her chart. Now, Capricorn is in the 5th house of playful love affairs. This is playful sexual affairs. If you want to find out anything about human trafficking, you would look here. The 5th house is Leo's house. That's Leo's house in the toxic. It represents sex in the toxic, not the type of sex that gives birth to kids. That's 8th house activity. Scorpio. We're talking about Leo's house. Playful sex. Okay? Creative, entertainment, theater, all of that. Nightclubs, adult entertainment, stripping, dancing. That's all 5th house. Sex trafficking, human trafficking is 6th house. Okay? Especially when Aquarius is involved. And Aquarius is in the 6th house. But the sex trafficking is the 5th house. That's what I meant to say, the 5th house. But Aquarius definitely plays a role in this case. That's why it's human trafficking too. Because Aquarius represents humanity and groups, gangs, organizations, memberships. Okay, sororities and fraternities. And this is a 6th house that is a part of Heaven's birth chart. Now let's look in the 6th house the day she disappeared. What you see? Taurus. The reason why Taurus is so important because Taurus rules the 2nd house of money. The work that she was doing was to get money. Look where Taurus is in her chart. Taurus is in the 9th house. This particular individual that she may have been with was a foreigner. 9th house. That's Sagittarius's house. And Sagittarius comes first the day Heaven disappeared. Let's talk about it. Now, and look, in the 9th house, the 9th master bedroom of the 9th house, you see Leo. And Leo is where Heaven's moon is at. Her moon is in Leo. Where did Leo come from in her chart? Leo is right here in the 12th house, hiding, right? The person responsible for if she might be dead. The person responsible for it is the same person that's responsible for her disappearance. And this is a love affair with a foreigner. Now, let me show you what I saw. I got quick and straight to the point. I connected 3 dots and got down to the bottom of what the chart say. But I'm also going to give Heaven a voice. And then I'm going to end the reading so I can save my voice. All right, so I saw money, status, and work. Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. All earth. All earth. Now look where all the earth signs are in Heaven's chart. In the 5th house of love affair, you see Capricorn. In the 9th house of foreigners, you see Taurus. And the other earth sign is Virgo. That comes first. The body. All the earth signs are Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. The second dot I connected was her being with a foreign love affair, Leo. Leo rules the sun. Leo was in the 12th house. That's the person responsible for her disappearance. This person is not limited to being a Leo who was actually born in late July, early August. The person may not be an actual Leo, but the person carries Leo energy. And so does the energy that's responsible for her disappearance. This was a hidden love affair. Romance, sex, playful sex, not the type of sex that creates children. Now, Leo rules the sun. The sun is the planet, the source, the most high, that rules the energy of Leo in all of us. Leo is the energy in us that's closest to the most high, the sun. And the sun that day was in Capricorn. And Capricorn is right here in Leo's house. You can't make that up. It's in the house of sex trafficking that day. Because Leo in the 12th, when it comes to somebody being disappeared and we don't know whether they're alive or not, this is definitely a toxic situation. Alcohol and drugs was involved as well. Now, let's look in the house of death. Aries starts the path of death. If Heaven has been unalived, wherever Aries is located at, the day she disappeared. And whatever's in the 8th house is going to let us know how it happened and where it happened at. Let's look in the disappearance chart. Where's Aries? Aries is right there in the 5th house. Sex traffic. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Where's Capricorn? No, matter of fact, what's in the house of death? Cancer. The house of death. Now, Cancer rules home, family, and the mother. Now, her being unalived in someone's house, this is either the foreigner's house, which I believe it is, because look, there goes her moon was right here the day it happened. And her sun, she was a Pisces. Heaven McGhee is a Pisces. Where's Pisces at? Right there in the 4th house. That's Cancer's house. She was in somebody's house. If it wasn't her mother's house, it's the foreign love affair. The person she was in a foreign love affair with. If she has been unalived, she was unalived in their house. Now, being that Aries, which started her path of death and unalivement, landed in the 5th house of sex trafficking, we know for sure that she was with that person. That's my reading, and I'm sticking to it. Now let's follow Aries, because Mars is the planet that rules Aries. Mars is the assassin. Mars is going to let us know. Mars that day was in Cancer. You cannot make this up. Look where Cancer is at, in the house of death. You cannot make this up. Heaven has been unalived, particularly probably shot in her head, because Aries rules the head, and it happened in the person's house. Heaven, talk to me. What happened to you? This is her. Beautiful young lady. Beautiful young lady. So sad. What happened to you, Heaven? I'm giving Heaven a voice. She's going to pull a chart. She may even pull an alignment that's in this chart. I may not have to pull another chart. Everything that happened to her might be in this chart. But I'm going to give her a voice. And it's going to come out in this card. And the rest of the cards that I pull. What happened to Heaven McGhee, who was born March 4th, 2004, who disappeared January 17th, 2025. If it's not her family, then this is somebody else's house that she was killed in. I don't judge. I read cards and I read alignments. I read the shit that no one can make up. And I do it in your face, raw and uncut. Because I am supreme. I am a high-ranking astro oracle psychic. I communicate with the living and the dead souls. And I have been given authority to tap into the etheric realm of all people, places, and things. And I do it live so you can see. You can't make this up. I'm shuffling the hell out this deck. But watch Heaven speak loud and clear. She gonna speak clearer than me right now. Because my voice is gone. Watch this. Watch this. Heaven, what happened to you? What happened to you? Cut the deck. Look at that Mars in the 9th house. The foreigner did it. Look, you can't make that up. The 9th house is the foreigner. Mars is the assassin. Aries was right there in the sex trafficking. We followed Mars and it led us to Cancer. Now Mars, she's letting us know that same person that she was last with sex trafficking unalived her. Unalived her. You can't make this up. Mars in the 9th house. When Mars is in Cancer that day, when you put Cancer in the 9th house, guess what comes first? Scorpio. The energy of sex and death. Now, look at this. This is the chart that Heaven herself pulled. This is the death chart. The 8th house is the house of death, sex, shared resources. Okay? You can't make this up. Look where Heaven is at in the chart she pulled. She's a Pisces. Look at her right there in the 5th house, along with the person who unalived her. sex trafficking, drugs and alcohol. In the fifth house, the day she was born. Look, you see Capricorn. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. And her moon is in Leo. Look where Leo is at, right there in Capricorn's house. Now, if I'm almost certain this is a foreigner. Now, this foreigner may also be law enforcement as well. Now, like I said, I don't judge. I also see it could be somebody in her family. And I also see a grandparent energy. I see the ninth house is the energy of the grandparent too. Not just church, not just college, and not just foreign affairs. The ninth house is also grandparents too. And the fact that Cancer is there, this is the grandmother. Because Cancer is the mother. And the ninth house is the grandparent energy. And when you put the mother inside the ninth house, that is the grandmother. You can't make this up. So if it's not her grandmother, she's definitely inside of a foreigner's home. She could be across seas, but she's definitely been unalived. She has definitely been unalived. Look in the eighth room, which is the master bedroom of the eighth house. You see Gemini, the local environment where she disappeared from. Somebody picked her up. She went with somebody. Gemini is travel. Gemini is interaction. Her phone records and history will let us know who did it. Where was Gemini at the day it happened? Gemini was right here in the seventh house of relationships because she was in a relationship with this individual. Where was Gemini at in her chart? The 10th house. Capricorn's house. The person in a position of authority. This could be law enforcement. Now, Capricorn is also the father, too. Capricorn is the father, the boss, the manager, law enforcement, and somebody with position and status. 3 cards. Heaven, talk to me. 3 cards. Let's put these charts aside right quick. 3 charts. 3 cards, Heaven. Talk to me. Give me a 3-card message that will confirm everything we just talked about. Let me know what happened to you in 3 cards. 3 cards. What happened to Evan McGhee, who was born March 4th, 2004, who disappeared January 17th, 2025, in 3 cards. Tell me about what happened. What led you to this? A lot of times, sometimes we let things happen because we don't have something to look forward to that gives us a filter. Like, for example, when you know that you have a gift or a talent or a skill, and you know that you feel like you've been chosen for a specific assignment, you're not going to let nothing on this earth lead you astray too far. Every opportunity that comes your way, you're going to look at it through the lens of your mission. Purpose always gives you a filter. Though you are still human, I'm human. Okay? I'm just as human as Heaven. Okay? Opportunities for me to become filthy rich, doing what I love to do, is presented to me every day. But because I have a purpose, my purpose, I look at all these opportunities through the lens of my purpose, and it gives me discernment. That's right. My purpose gives me discernment. There are people who I never allow to invite me to dinner. I don't want to be invited to no party of theirs. I don't even want to hook up with them. And these people may know everything that I do, all my talents and skills, and they may have a lot of power to get me from point A to point B in no time, being filthy rich. How do I know that? Because I have these people's numbers in my phone. Have I ever called them? No. Because I do not agree. See, they're waiting for me to call them. That's the agreement. I don't give into that agreement. I'm already on contract by the Most High. There's no need for me to sign nothing on this earth. So the reason why I brought that up is because I want Heaven to talk to me. Whether you knew your purpose or not, What are the three energies that made you vulnerable to this? I feel like she was set up foul play. My spirit team is going to help me too. Talk to me, heaven. And 3 cards. Talk to me. And 3 cards. Tell me what happened to you. I'm going to cut the deck and pull 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Spiritual warfare. It's always a spiritual warfare. I feel like heaven did have a purpose. I feel like she did have a glimpse of her purpose. You know, and that's when shit got real. Because spiritual warfare begins when you catch a glimpse of your purpose. I believe that. Foreign affairs and travels. You can't make this up. This is heaven talking. We just got finished talking about this. She pulled the assassin in the 9th house. Foreign affairs is the 9th house. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Foreign affairs and travels. Embezzlement. Embezzlement is when you've inherited. Now, embezzlement is an 8th house card. It represents the kind of abuse of inheritance. If somebody leaves you some money, or you come into some money, or you got, that's just like, for example, remember the PPP loans? Not everybody spent that money on what it was supposed to be spent on, which is what they signed up for. That's embezzlement. When you don't spend that money on what it was given to you for, that is a form of embezzlement. Okay? So embezzlement is like the abuse of inheritance. So that is in the energy somewhere. That is in the energy somewhere. All right. I'm going to pull 3 people. Tell me who's involved in your disappearance and your death. I believe she's been unalive. I feel it. She's been unalive. If she has not been unalive, she's being held hostage. But I'm still tuned into her soul. Give me 3 people. 3 people. 3 people that we can reach out to that's involved. 3 people. 3 people involved in the disappearance and possible death of Heaven McGhee, who was born March 4th, 2004, who disappeared January 17th, 2025. 3 people. 3 people. 3 people. Cut the deck. 3 people. 1, 2, 3. All right. We have an employee in the 10th house. That's Capricorn's house. The 10th house is prominent. Even in the chart that Heaven pulled herself. Look at that, Leo. That's her moon. She's with an authority figure. This is an employee. Okay, this could be her manager or her supervisor. Because this is an employee in the 10th house. An employee in the 10th house is an employee that's in a position of authority, such as a manager or a supervisor. I don't know if Heaven had a job. I don't know. But an employee came out in the 10th house. Somebody got a job here. In the 10th house, look at that. And this is the chart of the day it happened. Look at that, Virgo. That's the employee. That Virgo is the employee. It rules the 6th house. The employee with money. There's an employee involved. And there is a boss involved. Look in the 10th house. In Heaven's birth chart, you see Gemini. In the chart that she pulled from the ethers, that's what led to her death. That's who she's with. This employee, an authority figure in the 11th house. The 11th house is the house of groups. That is Aquarius's house. And remember, Aquarius showed up in the 6th house first. This is heaven's birth chart. Look at Aquarius right there in the 6th house. Now, if you look in Aquarius's house, which is the 11th house, you see Cancer, an authority figure, and a family. This could be an authority figure in her family because this Cancer energy shows up in the house of death where she was unalived at. So somebody in her family could be involved too. Look at that 6th house friend. The 6th house friend is Aquarius energy. Y'all know that. All my readings. When the friend comes out, that's Aquarius energy. Look what's in the 6th house. The 6th house of heaven's birth chart. Her friend, Aquarius, right there. This is that card. The 6th house friend is Aquarius. Right here. You cannot make that up. A friend from her job. There's a friend from her job or wherever she works at. Whatever she does daily. This is somebody that she knows on a frequent basis. Yes, whatever she does for a living, her line of work. And I see the friend, an authority figure, and a foreigner. Yes. We see it. I see it and you see it. So, let's look for her body. Lost and found. Where's the body of Heaven McGhee? Dead or alive? Where's the body of Heaven McGhee? It could be somebody in her family involved too. An authority figure in her family. That is partners and friends with one of these employees. Somebody she was working with. I feel like she may have been set up. Because Saturn is the planet that rules Capricorn. And heaven has Saturn and Cancer. Anybody who has Saturn and Cancer represents somebody who has hard issues, relationships, and struggles with their own family members. Saturn and Cancer is a person that always felt unloved by family. Especially, particularly the mother. And Saturn, the day she disappeared, was in Pisces. And heaven is a Pisces. You can't make this up. Somebody in her family is definitely an enemy of her. And I feel like this person is in the energy of her disappearance and unalivement in some form of fashion. Because it wouldn't have came out like that. Where is the body of Heaven McGhee? Where is the body of Heaven McGhee? Where is the body of Heaven McGhee, who was born March 4th, 2004, who disappeared January 17th, 2025? Where is the body of Heaven McGhee? In storage in the 12th house. Her body's in storage. I don't think she's with us. She's been unalived. She's been unalived. The 12th house in the chart that she pulled is Libra. That's the partner. In storage. Probably in this partner's house. Look, in the 12th house of Heaven's birth chart, you see Leo. That's her moon. That's her moon sign. Look what's in the 12th house the day it happened. Scorpio. That's the energy of death. And when I gave Heaven a voice, guess what chart she pulled? Scorpio. The 8th house. Scorpio came first. Heaven has been unalived. Her body is in a foreigner's home in storage. Her body could be in an actual storage unit. But her body is in storage. Some type of storage. Her body is in some type of storage. The 12th house is Pisces' house. And heaven is a Pisces. That's my reading on heaven, and I'm sticking to it.